George here. Happy Easter, everyone. This is Easter Sunday, and it's good to be here. Just want to talk about some current conditions. One thing that I noticed about this virus, it's linear and it's not exponential. Exponential is when you have like 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, 16,000, and it's growing like that. It's not. It's just growing very linearly. So I'm not too worried about it. I think this too will pass. And one of the things I do is I just look at the number of cases and I look to see how the curve is, and I just skim the headlines a bit. And sometimes you see things like, I saw that Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister, got the COVID virus and he ended up in the hospital. And I don't end up clicking on it and reading it all. Because if you start doing that, then you end up seeing an article about what his mother thinks, and then you read about his, barber, what his perspective as barber, and then you read a story about how a taxi driver gave him a drive once about Boris, and it's just like it's not helpful. You don't need all that. It's just all it is clickbait, and all it is making you giving you a lot of fear and anxiety. The truth is with this virus, if you do get it, you got 99% chance you'll make it. That's really good. And for most people, it's killing the ones that are like really old, like in the old age homes and that. And the younger ones, it's not. So your chances are even better than 99% chance. In Ontario, there's 7,000 cases. I think last week was 4,000 cases. So you can say, yeah, that doubled, but that's not very many cases. There's not that many deaths. In Canada, there's like 670 deaths total. Do you realize that 80,000 people die every year of cancer and 50,000 of heart disease? In 2008, they did a study on pollution, and they found out that 3,000 die a year from short-term pollution and 18,000 from long-term. And in the UK, they just did a survey, and they found out that 45% of people are now more interested in buying an EV because they are really enjoying less pollution. So one thing this whole epidemic might do is it might actually save lives in the long run, because people are going to be more cognizant about the pollution we do and we produce, and we're going to work a lot more to get rid of it so that more people will live. So we don't know. All we can see is what we have. Today is Easter Sunday, and we're celebrating Jesus' resurrection. But it reminds me that we live in a time of uncertainty. Can you imagine? What we call today as Good Friday was anything but good that Friday. They didn't know what was going on. In some ways, it was the same here. They didn't know what the social impact was going to be and the economic impact, and they were just fearful. They were killing innocent people, and even a great healer teacher they were killing. Rome was not a friendly place to be, especially if you were not a Roman citizen, and you had nowhere to go. And then when Jesus was dying, there was an earthquake happening, and there was total darkness. It was like an apocalyptic, however you say that, apocalyptic event to them. They were freaked out. It looked scary, and it looked like the end was near, at least for the followers of Jesus. But what really actually was happening was the best event in the universe. What seemed like the worst was actually the best. Jesus was paying the price for everyone there. He gave his life as a ransom for many. But there was pandemonium everywhere. Yet on Easter Sunday, Jesus arose, and without much fanfare. He arose, and everything had changed for the better, but no one was actually realizing it at the time. Let's look at some Bible verses. It says, John 4, verse 18, perfect love casts out all fear. Just think about that. God is love. There's another place in John that says that. And that casts out all fear. And we know that in all things God works out for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purposes. Romans 8:28. God works out everything for the good. Just like maybe this whole thing will have less people die in the long run because of less pollution. We don't know. We'll see. John 14, verse 27, peace is what I leave with you. It is not my own peace that I give you. I do not give it as the world does. Do not be worried and upset. Don't be afraid. That's what Jesus is telling you. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. We need sound minds in this time, because it's very easy to run off with all kinds of fake news and incomplete data. There's lots of data. You can make data say whatever you want. You just got to pick the right points and you can make it happen. And we got to take it as a whole. In 1 John 4:18, it says, there is no fear in love. But perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. And the one who fears is not made perfect in love. And one of my favorites is Philippians 4:6-7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. You know what? The truth is we are the most happy when we're actually present and with what's going on right now. Research has shown that even if we're dreaming about a vacation coming up, and you think that, wow, that would give us good thoughts, we're actually more happy when we have a higher level of happiness when we're just contemplating on what's going on right now. I have a computer with a video camera. I can speak to all you guys this way. I couldn't have done that 50 years ago. I have a cat sitting on my desk right now, just purring away, just sleeping, not worried about anything. I have a wife upstairs doing a painting. Life is good, and when I think about all those things, I have a lot more happiness than when I start focusing on the outside. We can just be mindful. We can pray. We could call up anyone. You can think about, hey, I wonder how so-and-so is doing, and we can give them a call. We can call for no cost. Back in the 70s, that was $3 a minute. Like it was, like if it was long distance. And now I can call pretty well anywhere in the world with WhatsApp and different things like that. So we can have the peace, and we can just really, if we just focus and we just pray and we just meditate on what we have, it's sort of like that there's a storm going outside, it's rainy and it's hurricaney and there's snow, and yet we're inside and we're all just cuddly because we have the house that protects us and we're warm. And that's what it really is like to have a Christian life if we want. And we can either have that, or we can watch the news and we can let them crank up our fears and breed uncertainty. And then if that doesn't help you, then you can get their advertisers to offer solutions that'll make you better, more complete if you buy their product. Because you know what? You're just not quite good enough without their products. Is that what you want? Is that really what we're listening to? Because some of us are so addicted to the news. I remember I went to Africa once, and I was at a pastor's place, and he had CNN playing on the background 24/7. I said, could you please shut that off? It is depressing. Because it's not even the truth. It's just they want you to watch the news. Their number one goal is not to inform you, but their number one goal is to get you to watch their news and their advertisers. I'm enjoying life. I'm very happy with what I have today, and I choose not to focus on what I may not have tomorrow. Because things are going to be better, and we're going to get past it. They're asking us to do social distancing, keep things sanitized, so let's just do that. Pray for people and call some of them up on the phone, because there's a lot of people that are living alone and would love a call. This too will pass. World War I passed. World War II passed. The Spanish flu. Remember 9/11? Everybody was freaked out and all these things were going to happen and we didn't know. Nothing really came of it. Yeah, it was an inconvenience. We had more security in the world, and the world never has been the same since. But all those fears that were mongering there, they didn't happen. We got past a recession in the early 80s. I had to take a job as driving a garbage truck for 4.5 years. I got my pay cut from $10 an hour to $8 an hour. It was tough. I made it. 2008 recession, I made it. You're going to make it. Somehow, you're going to make it, and you're going to be a better person, and things are going to be better. We have a peace that transcends all understanding. So stop letting the news control your life. Philippians 4:6-7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understandings, will guard your heart and your minds in Christ Jesus. Have a great Easter. Have a great week. God bless you.